80-20-365, a time management system to help you achieve your goals and dreams in 2021 and beyond. We all have the same amount of time. Our results depend where we invest it.
This is Living Your Life Well Planned, the 80-20-365 success system, and its inventor, Adam Vincent Gilmer. My name's Gene Velitis, and I'm your host, and welcome to episode 65. Now, interestingly enough, on this episode 65, and then the next episode, 66, it's going to be a part one and a part two. They're each going to be about 20 minutes long. You'll get some really great knowledge. And as we always at the beginning of our podcast here, make sure you go to Adam's site, 80-20-365.com, and order your daily planner. It's an essential tool that you'll need, which will guide you through this free program. All right, Adam is standing by, and we're doing something new as well. If you're listening to the podcast, if you had joined us live on either Adam's site, but you can also get these now on Facebook, kind of like a fireside chat with Adam and me, Gene. So let's get into episode 65. Like I said before, it's going to be a part one and a part two. And our topic is as in Adam's pyramid is better than your pyramid. Now, we're going to give you a general overview. We're going to ask that question that so many people get asked, and you have to be able to articulate a very, very clear answer to a common objection that people have. Then Adam's going to tell you what you should know, and then he'll wrap up this little part of why his pyramid is better than yours. In the next episode, we're going to compare the direct selling industry to other industries. We're going to compare and contrast education and economies. And then we're going to tell you what an upside down pyramid is all about. So we got two really great episodes on this coming up. So first of all, Adam, welcome back to the podcast. Great to see you, my friend. So why is your pyramid better than other people's pyramids?
Hey, good morning, good evening around the world. I know there's people watching from all over the place. And, last week, Gene, I did a whole segment on why my pyramid is better than your pyramid. And I figured, hey, let's go take it live on what we're doing training wise, because that will set the tone for what we're really trying to convey. And for the folks watching, I'm in the direct sales industry, network marketing. I've been in that industry for now, more than 30 years. And one of the most common objections people ask me is it a pyramid? And I'm going to answer directly at the top of the show. Yes, I'm involved in a pyramid, but it's not a pyramid scheme. It's not illegal. It's not something that is to be considered wrong or looked at by many that say, listen, what is it actually? So I'm going to tell you what it is. Everybody's involved in a pyramid, Gene. But the great thing about my particular pyramid is that you or anybody watching can get started and learn to be at the top and then build an amazing business. And that's really the message. Anyway, back to you.
Well, here's what I always find with people is, they'll say, well, is what you're doing a pyramid scheme? And I always say to people, well, you tell me what you think a pyramid scheme is. And you know what? I've been around this industry for a long, long time. And I can tell you with complete honesty, I've never really had anybody give me the right answer. So, right. So, they also, well, it's some guy gets in at the top and he makes a lot of money and, people pay for this and that. So give us an overview of what this is in the direct selling industry. I mean, you know what? You're right. Everything's a pyramid. Look at any government in a legitimate country. There's one president, there's one prime minister, right. There's one, whatever you want to call the person. And then there's all these other people. And at the bottom of the pyramid are the voters, the citizens of the country. There's not two presidents of the United States. There's not 8 prime ministers of Canada, right? I mean, it just doesn't work that way. So give us a working definition of how this works.
All right, so let's just go and take a look at the history of, pyramids, and you take a look at the 8th or 7th or 9th wonder of the world. And that's and I've been over there to Egypt, and they're still standing. Now, what's really interesting is that, everybody thinks that the pyramid shape is like this when I'm talking specifically about, the direct sales industry. But to be honest with you, it's really an upside down pyramid, because you start to introduce people to the business, and when they start, they become the top, and they start to introduce different people. So it's more like this. It's more like an upside down pyramid, which we already referenced. However, for everybody watching, I don't care whether you bought your Starbucks today, or whether you went and had breakfast at some other small little coffee shop or what have you. You're participating in somebody's plan so that they can drive revenue for themselves, their family, their business. And that's specifically what we're talking about. But I also want to reference, Gene, that is not illegal. If we were, or my particular brand was a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi or something like that, it would be shut down by the government.
What's the difference?
Well, the difference is the exchange of dollars for a product or service, or the exchange of dollars just to replace an investor or somebody else coming in, so that the money's replaced. We actually sell real products, okay, and products that are needed in the space or in the industry. When I say anti-aging, I'm talking about weight loss, or skincare, or products that people like to take and use or consume. And by doing that, I'm paid in all the transactions that happen from the introductions that are within my sales organization. But to answer the question, so that everybody knows, yes, I'm involved in a pyramid, but it's not illegal. Okay. And yes, you can be involved in a pyramid. Actually, you are. Black Friday is coming up here, in a few weeks, right? And here's what's going to happen. You're going to go on, Amazon, or one of the other stores, or what have you, and you're going to buy a special. Whose pyramid are you participating in as a consumer? And this is what I wanted to get across in doing these live events, is making people understand, or having people understand, the difference between why my pyramid is better than another pyramid, or their pyramid. And that is because I get paid, and I get paid because I'm literally having products move from warehouse to consumer. And when that happens, as a transaction that takes place, and I get paid on every single transaction.
Yeah. An illegal pyramid is what the late Bernie Madoff was doing. He was taking money from another person and transferring it to another person, and then he had to get more money to give it to another person. There were no products involved.
Right.
What your pyramid is about, and what the direct selling industry is about, it's simply a system of distribution which is ushering in a new economy. So, for example, if you join Adam's business, you'll be doing exactly what Adam does. He's not going to be your boss. You're going to be in you're going to be in his organization, and Adam is going to help you build a business. Now, if you're working for a regular company and there is a president or a CEO at the top of that pyramid, you know what you're working for? You're building that CEO's dream. You're not building your dream, you're building his or her dream. And that's why they have big cars, lots of vacations, and they leave work early, where you've got to punch a clock. Now, if you join Adam's business, he's going to help you every single step along the way. And this is the difference. It's a system of distribution. And the great thing about it is you only have to buy a few things to get started. The company's going to take care of shipping the products out. If there's a return, the company takes care of that. The company takes care of your accounting. The company sends you a check every month. And you know what? You don't have a store. You don't have an inventory. You don't have an order desk. That's all taken for you. Again, it's simple. It's a system of distribution that's ushering in the new economy. Because you know what? If I wanted to go in business for myself, I would have to buy a store. I would have to stock it full of products. I would have to, get employees and train them. And the disastrous thing with employees is if they get better than you running your business, they start their own business and they close you down. So I mean, it's a world of difference, isn't it? So what else should I know about the system of distribution, which some people think is illegal? And I think that we have quashed that notion quite nicely here.
Well, I follow a lot of people on social media, and The Rock. I follow, Jeff Bezos. I follow Elon Musk. I follow a whole bunch of successful people. And what I find out is that, they're running, or they're entrepreneurial, which speaks to education. But they also, they're driven by a purpose of making something, bigger, better, and actually making things better in other people's lives. In a recent video, I saw that Jeff Bezos, like he said, he owns 16% of Amazon, and people don't understand. You know, he's a multi billionaire, which is fantastic, but he only owns 16% of the company. Well, let's put that in retrospect to who owns the other percentages, right? So it's obviously like investors and other people that took a stake in what that man's vision happened to be. And the same, if you, I don't know it's exactly the same with Elon Musk, but if you go through all these entrepreneurs, you'll see a little different way of thinking than, you know, most people are taught in school. And I think that's the educational point we want to get across, is that when I say my pyramid is better than the pyramids that are out there, you know, Gene, if somebody went in Monday morning and said to their boss, hey, listen, you know, I'm making, you know, $30,000 or $60,000 a year. I'd like to double my income for the work that I'm doing. Their boss is probably not going to give them the raise. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Not going to happen. But in the business that I'm in, I can't, you know, I'm able to increase it every single day. I'm able to increase it every single week. I'm able to do these live events or travel around the world like I would normally do, you know, pre-COVID, and actually help people understand what they have to do in order to build a business. And most will understand their current CEO probably doesn't do that for them. You know, or vice president or whatever it is, if it's a regional bank or a box store or what have you, because, you know, there's always these chains of command.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that, you know, you or the person watching can actually become their own CEO, their own boss, and work with a whole bunch of successful people, multimillionaires, not like myself, but others that are in the organization and team, and we will help you become successful. And that's a big, huge difference compared to what's normally taught in the workplace or even at school, going to school and college. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's great to have an education. But I think that, you know, like watching this, you have to become more, you know, open-minded to what's really happening. And by the way, what spun all this on was, you know, a person asked me a couple of weeks ago about, well, isn't that a pyramid? Isn't it illegal? And I'm like, no, like, get educated and understand the differences.
Yeah. And, you know, companies are doing billions in sales. You know, here's another little difference I like to highlight, and I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
That's fine.
I'm gonna say, imagine that I'm joining your business. Now, I'm gonna say that I've got this other job and I'm just, you know, being introduced at him. Now, my imaginary job is I work for Citibank, you know, worldwide bank. CEO of Citibank last year, his basic salary before bonuses was $37 million. Now, I'm going to go into this bank. My job's a teller. Tellers make approximately anywhere between $26,000 and $32,000. Now, what I want really is I want to become the CEO of Citibank. I want to make his kind of money and I want his position. Now, on my first day at the job, do you think the president of Citibank is going to go down to one of the branches and say, oh, Gene Velitis, you're the new guy. Listen, I make $37 million and my goal is to get you to my position and making the same amount of money as see, we're both laughing because that doesn't happen. Now, Adam, if I join your business, what are you going to say to me on my first day that the president of Citibank never said to me and doesn't even know I'm working there? What's your commitment?
Well, well, first of all, you can actually outrank me in the business model and the direct sales company that I'm with. In fact, the sponsor that I have has outranked his sponsor in the system. And that's just shows you that you actually can, like you referenced Citibank, you can become or can advance inside the system. So that's the first thing. The second thing is like, you know, people have to be coachable, teachable, and willing to learn and go through some personal development to learn how this works. If it was, you know, success was easy for everybody, Gene, every single person watching this or hearing this, and also not, would be massively successful.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest challenge is having a person keep their mind open to say, okay, you know, what are these men, you know, why are we doing these live events and what are they talking about? We're talking about how everything is a pyramid and how certain pyramids reward you better and they're not illegal, they're real, and you can participate. And as I said, you can if somebody decided to join my business today, they can outrank me in the sales organization and team. It just means that they got to build a bigger team and do more direct selling as a team and organization and make things work. And just so you know, it's happened. It has actually happened in our business model.
So I guess what you're saying, the answer to my question is, if I join your business today, unlike the president of Citibank, you are going to shake my hand. You will help me get to your position or better. And in fact, you want me to make more money than you because you get the effect of residual income. So that's the difference between having a job and really building your own business. And guess what? When you're building your own business, you're not building the dream of the president of Citibank. You're finally building your own dream. And you're responsible to the extent of how big or how little that dream grows. I think it's fantastic.
It's just a matter of people getting their perception correct on what we're talking about. I went live last week on Facebook to talk about this. And it was funny, all the comments, what have you. And, the biggest challenge is that people are asking or want to know, what's the investment cost? How much is it? Okay, first of all, you're not investing in just, me, okay? You're buying some products. I want everybody to understand this. I make a little piece of the commission that happens on the transaction over, many thousands, okay? Now many thousands. It wasn't that way before when I first got started. But here's the point. The point is that it's between $200 and $1,000 to get started. And for that, a person's receiving quality products that are needed in the marketplace that you can resell and or use. Now, a lot of people look at that and go, well, that $1,000. Okay, so everybody understands. In my sales organization, which is now global around the world, and if anybody's following me on any of the social media sites, they'll see this. I've traveled, pretty much everywhere. We just finally opened up in Morocco, and what's really great, Gene, is that there's events going on in cafes, cafe tops in Morocco, in Casablanca. I'm not James Bond. Okay, I'm not 007. And you know what? I'm earning a little piece of the transactions that are taking place. And my point is that you can do this from your phone. You can do this from your computer. You can do this from anywhere in the world. In fact, my father used to, we used to go back and forth on this about having, sitting on the beach and twiddling my toes between the sand and earning money. And I've actually done this. It's real, people. This isn't a joke. And we know what the joke is? The joke is when somebody says, oh, that's a pyramid, and they close down completely. Yeah. And by the way, the joke's on them because they didn't keep an open enough mind to take a closer look.
Yeah. The other thing that I really enjoy about this industry is what I call sleep money, because you've got an international business, and while you're sleeping there in Southern California, what's it like to wake up and discover how much money you made while you were snoring away?
Well, right now there's events taking place in different places around the world. I know I've got business partners that are down in Latin America, Argentina, Rio, okay, and they're actually doing a massive event, okay. And what I want everybody to understand, if you were going to go buy let's just call it a McDonald's, right? A seasoned business with a plan, with a opportunity, and it's burgers and fries and ketchup and sodas and what have you, okay? And you take a look at the business. What is the opportunity cost to buy it? And by the way, they're selling franchises, and I'm not selling a franchise. I'm just drawing the attention to what's actually happening. In my particular business model, and by the way, if somebody's watching from another direct sales company or what have you, you don't have to join my particular business. I want you to use this as an educational piece so that people can understand the differences between, pyramids, illegal pyramids, Ponzi schemes, and what have you. I want people to get it. So you can use this. So you don't have to join my business. At the end of the day, it comes down to people understanding that if you own that McDonald's, you would earn a piece of, all the burgers and fries and sodas and ketchup and everything else that is sold or purchased by consumers coming in wanting the product. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. It just happens to be that over the last 10 years, I've spent my time traveling around the world, building teams, organizations, individuals, believing in them, inspiring them, standing behind them, listening, being an armchair psychologist at many times, hearing the challenges, the relationship disagreements, this, that, and the other things that happen, and being a support mechanism. And so what is it like to wake up? It's you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my goodness, once again, there's income from when I slept. And that's because we've transferred the thought, the idea, and the opportunity to somebody else who is looking to make a life for themselves, maybe a life for their family, a way to increase their lifestyle. I put a post up today about what Jim Rohn said, who was one of my mentors. And Jim Rohn said, a change in lifestyle allows you to share with somebody what's working for you and to have somebody else take advantage of it. And that's exactly what, that's why we went live today, to talk about why my pyramid's better than the other pyramids that are out there.
Yeah. And, the interesting thing that you didn't mention about maybe getting a McDonald's franchise. I know somebody who's got 2 McDonald's franchises. When he purchased the rights, it was $13 million for the first franchise. Okay. 13 million. Like, who has that money? Okay. And then you've got to buy all the food, and then you have to hire employees. And he said that most of his employees are generally people between the ages of about 16 and 23. And I said, wow, you must have a great business. And he said, you know what he said to me in honesty? He said, I don't have a business. I have a daycare center. And people are constantly coming and going and quitting on him. And he's working more hours now than ever before. But in our industry, what happens is, I mean, you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of people in your organization. Now, you could never work thousands and thousands of hours every week. There's only 168 hours a week. But
Right.
how many hours of manpower do you have of people, building their business and in turn, helping to build your business? I'm just saying,
Immeasurable.
yeah.
I mean, I could do it if I calculated people and I said, okay, let's times it by 24 hours and times that by 7 days. it would give me the answer. But what the thing is that for the person watching, Gene, I know somewhere inside of them, they have a goal or a dream or something they've been aspiring to, come about. And maybe they're like, asking earnestly, saying, how do I get involved or what have you? As I said, between $200 and $1,000 to get started. It's nowhere near the 13 million and this and the other. And by the way, who would have that kind of money as an average person to get started, right? But here's the other thing. If you take a look at the the entire industry income, as far as the direct sales industry goes, it's massive. And I want people to understand, right now you've got baseball, you've got the NFL.
Hang on. We're gonna save that for part 2.
Oh, we are.
Because I don't want to throw that away because most people do not know how phenomenally large this business is.
Yeah.
And and we like to draw some fair comparisons. So just to wrap up this episode, an illegal pyramid does not involve products. It's just the exchange of money. A legal pyramid, like Adam's business, is we sell products. We retail products.
Right.
We sell products to people. We sell products around the world. It's a system of distribution, which is 100% illegal. And unlike the bank, where
I would say legal, not illegal.
Oh, sorry, legal, yes. But what I was going to say was, unlike the bank, Adam's at the top of this organization. He's going to help you on your first day to try to get to his position and better and make as much money or even more money than Adam. And he's going to be really happy. The president of a bank is not going to do that. He wants to be the number one guy. So that's the difference. Now, when we come back, we're going to give you some comparisons. We're going to talk about other industries like Adam was just going to get into. You're going to be shocked by the facts and figures. The other thing we want to talk about too is education and economics. And we're going to reveal some interesting things. And then we'll just recap and talk about that upside down pyramid. Okay, Adam, we're going to shift gears, get into the new episode. Remember, go to Adam's website, 80/20/360 365.com. Order your daily planner. Oh, check out the bank system too when you're on the site. So follow along. Episode 60 is coming up, why Adam's pyramid is better than yours, and some facts and figures, which I guarantee are going to shock you. This is Living Your Life Well Planned. I'm your host, Gene Velitis. He's Adam Vincent Kilmer. See ya in a couple of minutes on episode 66. 80-20-365, a time management system to help you achieve your goals and dreams in 2021 and beyond. We all have the same amount of time. Our results depend where we invest it. 80-20-365, living your life well planned.